Hey, what is up guys? So that new Pot of Cupidity card is finally here in DevPro and also on YGO Pro. Got some awesome replays showcasing a bunch of different decks you might want to try this out in. But I honestly feel like every deck can make good use of that new card. It is absolutely so crazy how fast Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten. Anyways, this one's going to be showing off the combo with Gren, Maju, Azneyes, and the card called Left Arm Offering. I'm just going to explain this combo real quick. So Left Arm Offering means, or its effect is that if you have two or more cards in your hand, other than this card, banish your entire hand, add one spell card from your deck to your hand. You cannot set spell or trap cards the turn you activate this card. So basically, all you need is Gren, Maju, Azneyes, and then you can search out Pot of Cupidity. So Gren, Maju, Azneyes gains 400 attack for each of the removed cards you have. So when you search out Pot of Cupidity, this card will be minimum 4,000 attack, which gets over towers, it gets over a lot of crazy, super quantums, it gets over that too. And then with Left Arm Offering, since you're banishing your entire hand, you're going to increase this card's attack even further. So you're going to see he's going to go ahead and increase his attack up to 10,000. Just bam, a one-hit OTK, he's going to swap the attack to the other target. Dark Magician Girl, you just ain't big enough for that 10,000 Gren, Maju, Azneyes. It's a little bit of a cheesy build. There are a lot of other builds in this game where you can make good use of Pot of Cupidity. Another deck that can make good use of this card is Toons, because Toons, they kind of want Necroface so they don't deck themselves out, because that can be one thing that players run into sometimes when you're playing this deck. You can run out of cards if you're playing the Toons, because every time, Toon would be destroyed, you gotta banish a card instead. And sometimes, when they torrential, when they do it like effects that blow up a lot of monsters, you can lose out a lot of cards, especially since you like Toon Table Contents, Upstart, you search out the Toon Kingdom, you can run out of cards kind of fast in the deck. Like, you're gonna run out of resources, and, once you deck yourself out, you lose. So, essentially, Necroface is already good in the deck. Now, it can help out with consistency of some decks, and Necroface was already seeing some play when people were building Toon decks in the first place. But also with the ability to go Red Eyes, special summon. Look at this. Look what this guy is able to do in this deck. It's just like special, Toon Table Contents, going for that briefcase. I still think he should have maybe went for rank 4, or rank 7, yeah, rank 4. Going for like rank 7s would have been kind of advantageous because, Despots can always OTK, but he had the briefcase so he can send back whatever card he wanted to send back. I thought he should have sent back the other one, but nonetheless, whatever, he sent back the card, the guy didn't attack. Dingus move on his end, in my opinion. But nonetheless, it just shows you, like, you can definitely make good use of it in Toons because, obviously you can keep on attacking directly. Pretty good stuff indeed. Now, there's another build of it if you want to try maybe Aromages. This is a little bit of cheekiness in this duel, a little bit, maybe a little cancerous, as some players would call it. But I feel like Aromages aren't like the hottest archetype, but with Soul Absorption, which is some card, or some players were using this card at one point in the Aromages because you just keep on trying to gain life points in the deck anyways. And this is a really fast way to proc effect, whether it's Bottomless, Deep Prisons, or just cards in general. Like, some people were trying Draining Shield, but I'd rather banish the monster, gain 500. It's just much more advantageous than negating an attack and gaining some life points. Now, this duel is a duel where it's kind of a win harder duel. Like, the other guy, he doesn't play optimally. Yes, there was back row, so maybe he was hesitant to go all in. But I feel like if you're playing a synchro-based deck right now, in this day and age of you gotta go all in. Otherwise, you're simply just going to lose because too many decks these days just like, oh, you gave me one turn, I win the game. So Pot of Cupidity, very good card. Look how much life points he gains. Like, literally gains 5,000 life points just off that one card. And I don't know, that's a decent amount of life points. He's just sitting here at over 9,000 here. But he's going to go ahead and attack and get over. So the card is also sitting on a Fiendish Chain, which is a pretty decent card. And on top of that, this guy's going to go ahead and try to synchro up. But nonetheless, that Fiendish Chain is just so good against like synchro-based decks. So he's going to go ahead and bust out the Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant. And he's going to go ahead and move to defense position. And then Fiendish Chain is activated. But he was going to try to negate. Because this card has the effect when a spell and trap card is activated, you can negate the activation and destroy that card, and it gains 500 attack, so it would be 4,000 attack, but Fiendish Chain saved the day. But nonetheless, look, he's got that Necroface with 2,900 attack, and then obviously Jorighetto is pretty decent in Aromages just to heal up, and now he's at 11,000 life points, and the synchro player is kind of out of luck here. And on top of that, he's got another Fiendish Chain, he's got Solemn Strike, so you can see the uses that the Pot of Cupidity has in a lot of different decks, and a lot of players again, they thought this deck wasn't that great, and the guy quits after he gets Phoenix Chain, which is understandable. Pretty good stuff indeed. I got another replay for you guys. This one is on YGO Pro, so we'll swap over to it. So this one is pretty crazy as well. All these replays are pretty crazy, showcasing off the new P.O Cupidity. It's great in like everything, at least I think it is. But this one, it's crazy how much life points you can gain in combination with Soul Absorption. It's another Gren, Maju, DeeDee build. But there are a lot of different decks, like I said, that can make good use of this card. Heck, I've been playing in Mermills, I've been enjoying it. Any deck that can really overextend and kind of OTK or maybe stun your opponent so they can't really play, I think that's an excellent card. Maybe like a Counter Fairy deck. Like, who cares if you banish stuff? A Counter Fairy is a deck where you don't draw enough cards to really matter. You need that turn 1 setup of getting Azneyes so you don't have to pay the cost. And then, you know, like you have maybe Battle for Artemis, and like you draw the extra trap card. That can really help out. So I feel like this card just makes certain decks that really need that like jump start of extra additional advantage to deal with some of the pendulum stuff, and that's kind of nice. Obviously, yeah, banishing the cards can hurt certain decks, like certain decks that really need that one specific card. But anyways, this guy's going to go ahead and bust out the Great Magnus, that card that literally decks lose to after you bust it out. But it literally comes down to somebody one Gren Maju DeeDee, and he's got 4,000. He can run over the Super Quantum Mech Lord Great Magnus, as you guys will see. So he's going to go ahead and summon that Cyber Valley. Cyber Valley is a really old card. I don't really recommend playing this card in this day and age of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because it's so vulnerable to things. I mean, he could have just bounced it back, but nonetheless, he's got the Dark Hole, he's got the Necrophase Duality, another Soul Absorption here, so he Gold Stark for the card. Now he's able to go ahead and banish a bunch of cards. Look how much life points he's going to gain from this. 5,000? 5,000 again? Like 8,400 Gren Maju DeeDee? That is some crazy stuff right there, man. Absolutely amazing to see, like, just how innovative some players, you know, can think. Well, I guess Soul Absorption, and that's pretty simple mechanic, but it's kind of cool to see, like I said, just a little bit different things. This guy's also playing Cards of Demise, which can also be a good draw power card. We saw another guy playing that card where you banish your entire hand, which could work well in this. You know, different players like to play different things, but Cards of Demise is a decent little card, so your opponent takes no damage. But you send your entire hand to the graveyard and you draw 3 cards. If you know, are going to gain a lot of life points, like 24,000, it's very hard for a lot of decks to deal with that. So he's going to go ahead and set those cards. And then on top of that, the guy draws a Sounder Monk, activate that, but then Macrocosm was activated, so he's going to go ahead and go for that Star Drawing, go for that card, he's going to go ahead and attack. And then the Deep Prison kicks in, so Deep Prison gets banished, and then multiple cards get banished over here. So it's going to chain for each card that gets managed. Look how much life points this guy is at, man. He's at 28,000 to 4,200, 420 Blaze it over here. But he's got that pot D over here. Goes for that Pot of Cupidity. The card is just so freaking good. And of course, Necrophase can kind of reset you over there. Pretty good stuff indeed. And then of course, it's proccing that effect. Look at this. 500, 500, 500. And then another 500. He's got 40,000, not 4,000, 40,000 life points. I don't know, to me that just seems crazy. And then he's going to actually use Cyber Valley's effect to actually target Gren Maju DeeDee and put it at the top of his deck, so he can draw it next turn and basically make a game by just attacking. But it's just awesome to see this kind of stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh! These days. Going for that E-Tally and that Quantum Blue layer. And he's going to go ahead and he's just like, you know what? You beat me, man. That 48,000 life points. Absolutely crazy stuff, guys. My voice is dying. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you all you guys for sending in those sweet replays of showing P.O Cupidity in action. But anyways, show you guys his support by giving that like button a titty slap. And it's been your boy, Will Smith. Signing out.